What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Spanko, and today I'm excited because I'm bringing you guys a deck that I haven't done on the channel in a while, but I think this deck is very underrated. And I say that because Mimighoul, yep, that's what we're doing today. We're doing Mimighoul. Mimighoul is a deck that people just completely forgot about when Dominus Impulse became a thing because it just auto kills this deck. But the thing is, no one plays Impulse anymore. Impulse is not that great. I mean, there's very few scenarios where people are playing it, and even then it's not super high impact anymore. So it's unlikely you're going to be seeing it in today's format. So because we don't see Impulse, it's not like Mimighoul got any weaker. Impulse is out of the format, so this deck is safe, and I think this deck actually does a lot of really cool things that's really good against today's format. So I wanted to bring you guys an updated deck profile for today's format. Also, I do want to say this is my second video of the day, and I actually have a third one that I'm filming, so like the video, watch the video. I need to pay a cameraman somehow. I don't pay cameraman. I pay him with friendship. Alright, yeah, so let's get into the profile. First things first, we are playing one Mimighoul Master. You still only want to play the one because you get to this card in every time like with your combo, no matter what. There's so many one card combos, so every time with your combo you're getting to this. If you guys want to see what the combos look like, actually I want to say this, I completely forgot. I actually already have a combo video showing off multiple one card combos with this deck. The combos really haven't changed, so if you guys want to watch it, I'll leave a link in the top of the description. You guys can check that out because the combos are really, really good for this deck. But with that said, you're always getting to this through your combo, no matter which one card combo you start with. You're always getting to this. It's kind of a brick for you. It's not a really good normal summon, so you don't want to see it. And we're actually playing 45 cards in the main deck specifically because there are some bricks in this deck that you don't want to see, this being one of them, right? It's not like the worst, but if it's like the worst normal summon, like if you see it you can do stuff, but it's not amazing. 3 Dragon, this is your best normal summon. Dragon's an absolutely insane card. You need to be playing 3 Archfiend as well. These are your best 2 Mimighoul cards over here, so you want to be maxing on these ones because these are the ones you're going to want to see, right? So Dragon, Archfiend, and then we're playing 2 Fairy. Fairy's an extender for you. I very much debated playing 3 Fairy. I decided not to because I chose to play 1 Slime and 1 Cerberus. Cerberus is not that good anymore because what's it called? The Malice is a thing. But I found that when I play 3 Fairy and 1 Slime, like let's say no Cerberus, I find that sometimes I don't have enough names in the deck, so I needed this for an extra name. There's one more card in the deck called Armor. I think Armor is an absolutely horrible card, so I am not playing that card. I'd rather play this. Although this sucks into Malice, it's really good into other decks. It's not bad into other decks. So I was like, you know what? I'll take the risk. 1 Cerberus is fine. Yeah, Armor sucks. Don't play Armor. I think that card is horrible, right? So 1 Cerberus, 2 Fairy. Fairy doesn't start anything for you. That's another reason why we're only playing 2, because you'll search her through your combo and she's an extender. And she's not bad to draw because let's say you start with Dragon and somehow you get hand trapped or whatever, you have Fairies and extenders. So she's not bad to draw, but she doesn't do anything on her own, which is why I'm not playing 3 of, right? 1 Slime and 1 Cerberus. They all have really different effects when they're all flipped. Again, I talk about that in the combo video as well, but all their effects are really relevant, which is really nice, right? So that's that for the main deck monsters. Then we're playing 3 Dungeon, of course, one of the best cards in the deck. 3 Maker, this is another 1 card. So this is a 1 card combo, this is a 1 card combo, this is pretty much a 1 card combo. That's why we're playing 3 Maker. And then 3 Room. I like 3 Room in the main deck because Room is an absolutely insane card to play on your opponent's turn. After post side, typically I bring it down to 2 or 1 even because you can thrust into it. But for the main deck, I like playing 3. Even if you have like, let's say your opponent has 2-3 hand traps and they start playing your combos, you can just set this, and then this is a card that lets you play on your opponent's turn. So that's why Room is just so good in the main deck at 3. Again, post side, if you know you're going second, I usually just play the 1 of, but 3 is insane in the main deck. And then for the honorary Mimighoul monsters, so this is not technically a Mimighoul card, but for the honorary Mimighoul monsters, one of the best cards in the archetype to play, or not in the archetype that you should be playing with the archetype, is 3 Unicorn Kashtira. Kashtira Unicorn. Why did I say Unicorn Kashtira? Kashtira Unicorn. This card is absolutely insane in this deck. Not only is it a free body for you to help you link climb, it also, you can trigger it on your turn 1. So like, there's a combo where, I showed this off in the combo video as well. There's a combo where you special Unicorn, you get Birth, which I'm also playing 1 planet, 1 Birth. This is just to get to this, and this is just to search off of this. But yeah, Unicorn is insane because what you'll do is you'll start with Unicorn, then you'll go do your 1 card combo. Within your 1 card combo, you're always going to trigger Unicorn to rip 1 from your opponent's extra deck. Then you'll link off the Unicorn, you'll summon it back with Birth, and then you have a monster on your opponent's side of the field in defense position. So as soon as they choose to do anything on your opponent's turn, you're going to rip another card. So this is always going to guarantee you a rip 2, which is insane in today's extra deck, like in today's format, because the extra deck, a lot of people are playing 1-ofs. So being able to rip 2 right off the bat is crazy. So that's why I like this. It's an extender for you, it rips cards, and it's a disruptor piece. So Unicorn does so much for this deck. It might as well be called Mimighoul Kashtira Unicorn because it's just so good. And then we're playing 1 Terraforming to get us either into Dungeon or Planet. A lot of the times I find that I actually just go straight into Planet if I open Pit Terraforming. The reason is you get to Mimighoul Dungeon through your combo. Terraforming getting to this, then to get to this is going to be really strong as well. This also helps you play through hand traps because if I special summon this and my opponent doesn't respect it, and then I go, let's say I go Maker and they go Ash, then I'm like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to rip 1 from your extra deck. and then I'm gonna normal summon dragon and full combo anyways. So that's why I'm playing this package. I think this package is so insane. And then lastly, for quote unquote engine, we're playing one Azarun. And this is one of the best cards, or one of the best link 2s you can end on with this deck is a Silhouette Rabbit. And so this card is just really good in today's format as well, being able to set that up on top of all your other disruption. And I know I keep talking about all the different disruption. The thing with this deck that I really like is there's multi-layers of disruption. And I keep referring to the combo video, but I go really in depth in that combo video. But I pretty much talk about how Unicorn is good to rip the extra deck. You have cards that's gonna, you play a lot of hand traps and non-engine, which I'll show you, but you have cards like this that is going to stop them on the monster zones. The Mimighoul monsters have effects when they're flipped as well, which is going to disrupt your opponent. You can either hand rip, you can self-Raigeki yourself, or not yourself, but your opponent will self-Raigeki themselves. So there's so many layers of disruption in this deck, and that's why I really like this, because it adds another layer. But that's it for the engine, kind of the main engine. Now you guys can tell it's a pretty big engine, but because there's so much one card starters, I decided to play more than 40 because I wanted to fit a lot of non-engine. So for the non-engine, we're playing 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 2 Mourner, 2 Veiler. This is it for the hand traps. We play a mix of hand traps and breakers, and I'll tell you guys why we do that. So the reason we, obviously hand traps is just always going to be hand traps, they're good. And I like different variations of hand traps, which is really nice. And the other reason we play a mix is because this deck, if you guys don't know, the Mimighoul cards can all make Thrust live and make Talent live. So we're playing 2 Thrust and 2 Talent. So this is really good because this is always going to be live, because no matter what, if you set up your Mimighoul combos, you're always going to activate an effect on your opponent's side of the field through your own Mimighoul monsters. So these are always going to be live. This typically gets into this, but this can get into Room as well, which is really important, because if you don't have access to Room, this gets into it. This is really good because it helps you draw cards, so you can draw into non-engine, especially if your hand looks like a lot of engine. But the other thing with this is if you're setting up the hand rip, then you can hand rip again with this. So you're hand ripping 2 with Talent as well, right? So this is a really good engine that I really, really like, a really good package. And then we're playing 1 Prosperity for consistency, 1 Called by the Grave, and then something I chose to play, and I think I really like this, is 2 Crossout. So you guys might be wondering why you're playing Crossout. Well, this deck does honestly, you know, kind of lose some of these hand traps, especially multiple hand traps. It can be difficult to play through. So Crossout is really good for all of these. But then Crossout is also really good for Talent and Thrust, because you play into these a lot. You play on your opponent's turn a lot, so you don't want to lose to Talent or Thrust yourself. So this is really good because it pretty much stops everything here. Like everything here that you guys can see, Crossout is going to stop. Although it doesn't stop anything in the main deck, like in terms of the engine, it stops pretty much all of this non-engine. And I decided to play all the cards that kind of this deck loses to, right? So I decided to play all of these, and that's why I like Crossout. I think Crossout is insane. This is the 44th and the 45th card. Again, you guys can play 2 more hand traps here. You guys can play another 2 more breakers, whatever you guys want to do. But I think this Crossout is just so absolutely insane in this deck, just to help protect all your combos. So that's it for the main deck. It's 45 cards in the main deck. Again, we're playing a mix of breakers and hand traps, which is not traditional in Yu-Gi-Oh, but in this deck specifically makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna actually go into the side deck, or the extra deck I should say, before I go into the side deck. So for the extra deck, we're playing 2 Giant Mimighoul, one of the most important, actually these 2 are just really important cards. You're always going to go into both of these in your combos to start your combos, so these are really, really good. There's a card in the side deck actually that I play that's going to make this next card make a lot of sense. We're playing 1 Ripplebird. This card is new out of Suda. It's actually a really cool card. Basically, you detach a material from this card, you target 1 monster in the field and change its battle position. It's not very important. When it's in defense position, you can't just be destroyed by battle. Or your opponent can't declare an attack, I should say, actually. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like it stalls games for you. But you're playing this, you're playing this, you're playing this, and you're playing this. This is kind of just gives into Zeus. This is not bad. This is not bad. Again, these 2 are more like stall cards. These 2 are more like, okay, I'm going to try to push for, like, you know, different disruptions. But you're playing these for a reason. I'll show you guys the side deck real quick. But you can thrust into that. If you're going first, game 2 or game 3, and you have thrust live, if you have thrust in your hand, right? What's insane about this is you can combo to where your thrust is live, and then you set this, and then you don't even have to finish your full combo. You just end on one of these guys. And then you're pretty much turn skipping your opponent, and then turn 3s come back to you, you can OTK. So the fact that you can do this in this deck is kind of nutty, I'm not gonna lie to you. So we're playing these cards because, you know what, why not turn skip? Turn skip is absolutely insane. I was considering doing it. I was considering putting this in the main deck, but I was like, no, it's not worth it for me to where I have to see specifically thrust and make this to make this live. Like, I guess if I draw this, then I can pivot my combos to make this. I don't know. It's up to you guys. You guys can kind of. It doesn't do anything second. That's why I kind of chose not to play in the main. I just tried to side it. But yeah, the fact that Mimighoul can do that is insane. We're playing one of this for Zeus. Honestly, play Typhon. I don't have a Typhon, but play one of these for Zeus. Zeus, of course. Anima, because everything's level 1. Haggard, Lizard Dose. I actually really like this card. Turn 3, if you have bodies on your side of the field, and you have a Kashtira Unicorn, let's say, in hand, and you have like full combo again, you can make a Haggard, and then get your monsters off the board, banish this self to get a draw, and then your Unicorn is live now because you can now special summon your Unicorn again. So I like this guy. 1 IP. A lot of the time you want to actually end on IP. IP is really good in this deck. 1 SP and 1 Silhouette Rabbit. If you can end on like Silhouette IP, that's like really ideal. It's a really good combo. But even if not, you have like a bunch of other really good cards here. So yeah, this is really funny. I like this. I like this package. I wouldn't not play it in today's format. I think it's just insane. The fact that we have access to a turn skip is kind of crazy. And then lastly, side deck. I'm gonna say this in all my videos, and I always say this, and you guys are probably tired of hearing me say it. But if you guys are building a side deck and you guys are going to locals, let's say, and you know your locals all back row, make sure it's side for back row. If you know it's all Ryziel, make sure it's side for Ryziel and combo or whatever it is. Side for what your locals is looking like. This side deck kind of covers a little bit of everything, so I like to use this as a skeleton for you guys. But again, you guys don't have to copy it 1 for 1. We are playing 1 Bestial Magnamut. This is actually not bad because it searches dragon and it's just kind of a disruption. It doesn't work with the Kashtira cards, but going second against some decks, this is just really good to side, so I like siding it. 3 Lancia for the Malice matchup. 3 Shifter for the non-Malice matchups. This card is absolutely insane. This deck can play Shifter. The only reason we're not maining it, even though I actually would recommend maining it, is just because in today's format, Malice exists. If Malice doesn't exist, this would 100% be in the main deck. But because Malice exists, we're playing this in the side instead. So we have the anti-Malice, we have the anti-everything else. We're playing the 3rd Thrust in the side deck. Going into games 2 or games 3, if you know you're going second, I like to max out on my thrust targets. And then actually, if I know I'm going first, sometimes I'll max out on my thrust targets, like I said, because I can go into the Harpy's Featherstorm. But then yeah, so we're playing 2 D-Barrier, the really good today's format. Actually, I'll just do this here, because this is kind of like your thrust package, right? So 2 of this, 1 of this, 1 of this. The Rumor Cannon actually synergizes very well with this deck, because if they flip the Mimighoul card, whatever, you can always flip it face down again. And if you guys don't know, if you have Dungeon, they can't normal summon a card if they have a Mimighoul card face down, or just a face down set monster. So this is actually really good. It plays into that. And then this is of course really good going first as well, being able to just kind of like turn skip your opponent, right? So there are times where I go first and I just max out on thrust because I really want to see kind of these game winning cards over here. And then for going second, we're playing 1 Harpies and 2 evenly, I should say. This is kind of like for back row matchups. This is also from some matchups that go really wide, so this is really good. Evenly covers the back row as well, so that's really good. So going first, going second, you can always just max out on your thrust and then get to what you want to get to. So I think this side deck is actually really good. If I'm being honest with you, I'm very proud of this side deck. I was just showing it to you guys again, and I'm like, wow, it's a really good side deck. I really like this side deck, and it's really cool because you couldn't do a side deck like this one in not Mimighoul, right? Because some of these cards specifically work because of the Mimighoul stuff. So that's it. That's it for the side deck, and that's it for the deck and the extra deck. Guys, Mimighoul is a real deck. Like I hate to say it, but Mimighoul, actually I don't hate to say it. I like this deck. Mimighoul is a real deck. People just stopped playing it because Dominus Impulse existed. It no longer exists. Well, it kind of exists, but no one plays it. So you can play this deck pretty safely and get away with it and get some wins with this. Thank you guys all for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. If you guys did enjoy today's video and you guys want to see more decks like this one, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. We do combo videos, which again will be linked in the description. We do product openings, all of that good stuff. And if you guys want to see that, or if there's anything specific you guys want to see, let me know in the comment section down below, and I can try to make that happen. That said, thank you to every one of you. Thank you to the cameraman for being the best cameraman on YouTube. And with that, Spanko signing. Peace.